There is something silently growing inside your body right now, and most people have absolutely no idea. It is not something you can see in the mirror, but it is destroying your health from deep within. Doctors call it visceral fat, and medical science now confirms it is the most dangerous fat in your body. Unlike the fat you can pinch on your arms or legs, this fat wraps tightly around your vital organs. It sits around your liver, your kidneys, your intestines, and it quietly poisons your body every single day. This is not just a weight problem. This is a silent health emergency happening inside millions of people worldwide. Visceral fat is directly linked to type 2 diabetes, and the connection has been proven in study after study. It is also linked to heart disease, and researchers have found it dramatically raises your risk of heart attack. Scientists have now connected excess visceral fat to at least 14 different types of cancer. 14 different cancers. That list includes colon cancer, breast cancer, ovarian cancer, lung cancer, prostate cancer, and the list keeps growing every year. And if that was not enough, new research is now linking high visceral fat levels directly to dementia and Alzheimer's. The reason this fat is so dangerous is because it constantly leaks inflammation chemicals directly into your bloodstream non-stop. Imagine pouring gasoline onto dying embers. That is exactly what visceral fat inflammation does to any tiny cancer cell. Even a microscopic tumor that your body could have fought off suddenly explodes into something far more dangerous and aggressive. Now here is something that will shock you. You do not have to be overweight to have this problem. Researchers studied 3,000 normal-sized Swedish women who were not obese, not overweight, just regular, everyday, normal-sized women. Using special body scans, scientists measured exactly how much internal fat each of these women was carrying inside their bodies. They followed these women for 13 full years, and the results of that study were absolutely jaw-dropping and alarming. Women with hidden excess visceral fat had a 3 times higher risk of developing breast cancer than women without it. 3 times the risk. And these women looked completely normal from the outside to everyone around them every day. This is what doctors call skinny fat. You look fine on the outside, but you are dangerously unhealthy inside. So how do you actually know if you have too much visceral fat hiding inside your body right now? The most accurate way is a special body scan called a DEXA scan that measures exactly where fat is located. A DEXA scan can tell you your bone density, muscle mass, and most importantly, exactly how much visceral fat you carry. Research tells us that only 10% of your total body fat should be visceral fat for healthy normal function. When you go above that 10%, your belly starts to push outward from the inside. That is the belly bloat. That classic beer gut appearance is not just extra weight. It is visceral fat physically pushing your belly wall outward. If you cannot get a DEXA scan right now, there is a much simpler way to check yourself at home. Just check your belt size. When visceral fat grows, your waist circumference expands and your clothes stop fitting properly. If your belt has gotten tighter, if you need bigger pants, your visceral fat levels are very likely increasing fast. Now the question everyone wants answered. How do you actually burn this dangerous fat and take back your health? The first and most powerful step is to simply stop overeating. Because overeating is the #1 cause of visceral fat. When you constantly eat more calories than your body needs, your fat cells expand, and visceral fat builds up fast. Here is a practical tip that actually works. When you plate your food, keep 2/3 of the plate empty. Most people load their plates completely full, and then feel obligated to eat every single bite until nothing is left. That old idea about cleaning your plate came from wartime food rationing. It has absolutely no place in your life today. There is too much food available today, and eating everything on your plate is actually working directly against your own health. The second practical tip comes from ancient Japanese wisdom, and it is called hara hachi bu. Eat until 80% full. When you eat slowly and stay connected to how your body feels, your stomach will actually signal your brain before it overfills. Your body releases a hormone called leptin that travels to your brain and says, "Hey, we are almost full. Slow down." Most people ignore this signal completely and keep eating until they are stuffed and uncomfortable and already way past the limit. Train yourself to stop eating the moment you feel satisfied, not the moment you feel completely and uncomfortably full after every meal. The third strategy is about timing your meals, and the science behind this is far more powerful than most people realize. When you eat, your insulin levels rise, so your body can move energy from food into your cells for storage and use. Here is the key. When insulin is high, your body is in storage mode, and it absolutely cannot burn fat. When you stop eating and insulin drops back down, your body flips a switch and starts burning stored fat for energy. This means the hours when you are not eating are actually your most powerful fat-burning hours of the entire day. If you sleep 8 hours and stop eating 3 hours before bed, you have already given your body 11 fat-burning hours. Add 1 extra hour before your first meal in the morning, and now you have 12 full hours of fat burning daily. You have just spent half of your entire day burning down stored visceral fat without doing a single minute of exercise. Now let us talk about specific foods that science has proven can directly target and shrink dangerous visceral fat inside your body. The first food is one you already know is healthy, but the science behind why it burns fat will surprise you. Researchers in Iceland wanted to test what omega-3 fatty acids actually do to body fat at a cellular and metabolic level. They discovered that omega-3s activate something called brown fat in your body, which is a special fat that actually burns calories. Brown fat is like a furnace. When it gets turned on, it generates heat by burning the dangerous visceral fat away. In the study, people who ate salmon 3 times a week for 8 weeks lost up to 15 pounds of body fat. 15 pounds, just from eating salmon 3 times a week for 2 months, without making any other changes to their lifestyle. Now here is where the story gets even more interesting and surprising, especially for people who do not enjoy eating salmon regularly. The same researchers then studied cod, which is a plain white fish that nobody considers an oily or omega-3 rich fish. Cod only has 284 milligrams of omega-3s per serving. Salmon has over 1,500 milligrams, which is more than 5 times higher. Yet the people who ate cod 3 times a week for 8 weeks still lost 10 pounds of actual body fat. 10 pounds from a plain, boring white fish. Because even that small amount of omega-3 was enough to activate the fat-burning switch. And here is the most practical part. You do not need to eat fish at all to get this omega-3 benefit. Just 4 medium Gulf shrimp gives you the same amount of omega-3s as that fat-burning cod serving in the study. Half a piece of halibut, literally the size of half a deck of cards, gives you the same exact amount. 1 single forkful of mackerel delivers even more omega-3s than you need to start activating that powerful brown fat system. You have more choices than you ever realized, and there is absolutely no excuse not to add these foods to your meals. Now let us talk about the foods that are actively destroying your metabolism and feeding your visceral fat every single day. Ultra-processed foods are engineered by food scientists to make you overeat, and they are extremely effective at doing exactly that. They are packed with added sugar, artificial fats, chemical preservatives, and synthetic flavors that completely confuse your metabolism and gut health. Ultra-processed foods damage your gut microbiome, which is the community of beneficial bacteria living inside your digestive system right now. Your gut microbiome does not just help with digestion. It plays a massive role in controlling your body's inflammation levels daily. When you destroy your gut microbiome with processed foods, Your inflammation levels rise, and your visceral fat problem gets dramatically worse. The worst part is that these foods are specifically engineered to bypass your brain's natural fullness signals and make you keep eating. You eat one chip, and suddenly the whole bag is gone. That is not weakness. That is deliberate food engineering against you. Every time you eat ultra-processed food, you are loading your body with harmful chemicals, while also massively overeating without even realizing it. Now let us talk about something that surprised even scientists: a hot drink that has been proven to actually burn visceral fat. Researchers at Harvard School of Public Health ran a study on overweight men and women between the ages of 35 and 69. Half the group drank 4 cups of coffee every single day for 6 full months, made from Robusta coffee beans specifically. The other half drank a placebo, just regular water made to look and feel similar to the coffee they were drinking. After 6 months of this experiment, the researchers measured everyone's body composition, using detailed and precise body scanning equipment. The coffee drinkers lost 4.6 pounds of body fat, and a significant portion of that was dangerous visceral fat. The placebo group, the ones who did not drink coffee, actually gained 4.4 pounds during the exact same period. Think about that gap. Coffee drinkers lost nearly 5 pounds, while non-coffee drinkers gained nearly 5 pounds at the exact same time. The active compounds responsible for this effect are chlorogenic acid, caffeine, and caffeic acid, all naturally found in regular coffee. These compounds together boost your metabolism, improve your insulin sensitivity, and directly signal your body to start burning visceral fat faster. Now, if you prefer tea over coffee, there is equally powerful science that shows green tea does almost exactly the same thing. Researchers in Iran studied 70 women who had metabolic syndrome, meaning excess weight, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, and large waistlines. One group drank 3 cups of green tea every single day for 8 continuous weeks, while the other group drank plain warm water. At the end of 8 weeks, the green tea drinkers had lost 2 pounds, and their waist circumference had shrunk by nearly an inch. That is almost 1 full belt hole smaller, just from drinking 3 cups of green tea every day for 2 months. And the researchers confirmed through measurements that the specific type of fat being lost was visceral fat, the most dangerous kind. But the benefits did not stop at just fat loss. The green tea drinkers also saw their blood pressure drop significantly. High blood pressure is one of the biggest risk factors for stroke, and lowering it even slightly can genuinely save your life. Green tea is not just a trendy wellness drink. It is a scientifically proven tool for fighting the most dangerous fat inside you. Now here is one more powerful tool that many people dismiss because it sounds too simple to actually work in real life. Apple cider vinegar has a reputation that mixes legitimate science with wild internet health claims, and for years I was skeptical myself. But then I looked at the actual clinical research coming out of Japan, and what I found genuinely changed my perspective completely. Japanese researchers studied the dose-dependent effect of apple cider vinegar on body fat, waist size, and inflammatory markers in the blood. One group took 1 tablespoon daily. Another group took 3 tablespoons daily. And a third group drank plain water as the placebo. After just 1 month, every single person who drank apple cider vinegar had a smaller waist circumference compared to the water group. They had less body fat, lower inflammatory markers in their blood, and they weighed less on the scale after only 30 days. And people who took the higher dose, 3 tablespoons, lost significantly more fat than the people who only took 1 tablespoon. That dose-response relationship is scientifically important because it tells us something real and biological is actually happening inside the body. The magic is not from the apple. It is from the acetic acid, which is the defining chemical compound in all vinegar. Acetic acid works by literally preventing your existing fat cells from expanding further and stopping your body from creating brand new fat cells. Your body creates new fat cells using stem cells when your existing cells are full. Acetic acid blocks this entire process completely. This means you can use any real vinegar, red wine vinegar, white vinegar, black vinegar, because all vinegar contains acetic acid. The only important thing is to read the label and make sure the product contains only pure vinegar with no added ingredients. Many commercial products labeled as vinegar actually contain added sugars, artificial flavors, and other additives that completely cancel out the health benefits. Avoid salad dressings that are vinegar-based because manufacturers add so many other ingredients that the metabolic benefits are completely destroyed. Buy pure, simple, unflavored vinegar. Check the ingredients list and make sure there is nothing in there except the vinegar itself. So to bring everything together, visceral fat is dangerous. It is invisible. It is linked to cancer, diabetes, dementia, and heart disease. But you are not powerless against it. Science has given you real, proven, practical tools to fight back, starting today. Stop overeating by using smaller portions, never cleaning your plate, and practicing the 80% fullness rule at every single meal. Extend your natural fat-burning window by stopping eating a few hours before bed and delaying your first meal slightly each morning. Add omega-3 rich seafood to your meals at least 3 times a week. Even shrimp and cod are enough to work. Cut out ultra-processed foods that are engineered to make you overeat and that actively destroy your gut microbiome and raise inflammation. Drink 4 cups of coffee daily or 3 cups of green tea daily. Both have clinical proof behind their visceral fat benefits. Add 1 to 3 tablespoons of pure apple cider vinegar or any real vinegar to your daily routine and watch your waist shrink. These are not theories or internet trends. These are clinically tested, research-backed strategies that have been proven to work in real people. Your body has the ability to burn this dangerous fat away. You just need to give it the right tools and conditions. Start with 1 change today, then add another tomorrow. And within weeks, your body will begin transforming from the inside out. The dangerous, silent fat that has been quietly building inside you can be beaten. And now you have the science to do it.